If you're tired of feeling shame about past financial decisions, worried you'll never achieve financial stability, and ready for a clear plan to take control of your money and experience true financial freedom, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Lisa, wealth activator, independent insurance broker, and your guide to rewriting your money story. I learned the secret to creating financial freedom and stability after divorce, and I'm ready to share it with you. If you're ready for steady, stress-free income, clarity with your money, and the confidence to spend without guilt, grab your favorite essential oil, take a deep breath, and let's sniff our way through the smell of money. Hey everyone, welcome back to this I Date Money episode. Today we have a special guest. We're going to be diving into talking about money mindset, talking about, a lot of times when we want to make money, we push it away and we say, yeah, no money, you're not good enough. The thoughts that we have control how much money we have. And you've heard this before, but have you really heard it before? So today we are hanging out with Eilish O'Rourke. She is an award-winning mindfulness coach and Reiki practitioner, supporting women to move from overthinking exhaustion and resentment into self-love with gratitude and compassion. Through her Inner Care program, based on her Nurtured Path framework, she guides women from the fog home to themselves, empowering them to live calmer, fuller, more joyful lives. So go grab a nice cold drink, get rid of all the distractions, and come hang out with us for 20 minutes or so. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited to talk about this conversation because I've connected with a lot of Reiki healers, but I haven't really connected. I haven't really understood like that energetic realm of our thoughts combined with this energy that helps us heal. And I know when we heal our mind, abundance just overflows. So tell us your before story, like what got you into this Reiki practice and this practice of gratitude to get you to where you are now and how that change transformed you.
First of all, the pleasure is mine to be here with you. I have listened to all your podcasts and you bring me on all the roads in Ireland. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I always experienced anxiety and I always knew that at some stage I would have to face it and own it. And on the first day of COVID, I started to meditate with Jeff Warren, and he was on the Calm app. And within 30 days, 10 minutes a day was profound. The changes in me was profound. And so much so that I could meditate anywhere. And then the following January, I was talking to my GP and we were just chatting, and I was an accountant in my previous role. And she suggested I would be very good at mindfulness. And I always wanted to teach, but the subject just never showed itself up. I just did not know. I thought it was going to be Excel, but I couldn't teach Excel. So I joined a mindfulness course in the April. I qualified the following June. It was online mostly. And then I started doing classes. But meanwhile, I had a Reiki healing. And then the lady said to me, I'm doing Reiki 1. Would you like to join? And I said, okay. And that was for me. When you do Reiki 1, you can do healing for yourself and your family. And then she said, I'm doing Reiki 2. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do Reiki 2. I did Reiki 2. And then I did Reiki Masters. And Reiki Masters allows you to teach as well as an elevated form of healing. So I was doing Reiki for people here. And then I started to think, well, if I'm teaching mindfulness, there's a lot of content in mindfulness. And some people are very tired in the evenings. I combined Reiki with it. So it relaxed their bodies so that when they were trying to remember what I said at the dishwasher or what I said when things aren't going so well at home or when people are annoying them in work, what did she say? People's bodies were relaxed so they could remember it quicker. And it nearly accelerated their progress with mindfulness.
Wow.
And then I had the privilege of going to Northampton this June just gone, to Andrea, and she did a different style of Reiki. So I had my Reiki Masters, but she did Holy Fire and World Peace Reiki. And since June of this year, I came home. I wasn't doing it that much for myself, but since June, I've been doing it every day. And I have accelerated my own healing to very, very high. The awareness with me at the moment is unreal. And you experienced that with your summit with the ladies, because
Mhm.
that night, it was about 5 planes landed that I was in airport. So I'm just so grateful for mindfulness and Reiki, where it has brought.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm a little bit, I understand what Reiki is, but not how it works. So can you just touch on that?
It's universal life force energy.
Mhm.
And the Reiki I did before I went to Northampton, the Reiki came through me for you. The Reiki I did in Northampton, totally different style. It comes straight from source. And what Reiki is it balances your body to total peace and relaxation, because all your chakras are spinning without being blocked, and you're feeling lighter, and you're ready, and you're able to face everything. You
Mm.
can't ever control what's out there, but you can control and manage your relationship with everything. So mindfulness gives you the explanation and the tools to make choices, to challenge your thought pattern, to not judge, whereas Reiki brings your body into total peace. A lot of people in Ireland are walking around like this.
Mhm.
Just everything is clenched. So there's no space for anything to heal or anything to blossom. So when Reiki flows through your body, I had a lady today and she said she thought she was elevating off the bed,
Wow.
that because she felt the light coming, the healing, the Reiki. It's what makes the trees grow. It's what makes the birds fly. We're all one with source. So the holy fire Reiki comes through source, not through me. And
Mhm.
anyone that would have had Reiki with me before and after Northampton have said it's a very beautiful piece now, even though it was lovely before, but they have noticed and they have felt lighter.
Mhm.
So it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing how powerful our mind is. And I'm always saying, our thoughts are the most powerful tool that we have. And I was taking golf lesson, and the instructor was talking about how golf is, 85% of what you think. And he was giving examples of how when we go to hit the ball, we're so focused on the ball that we don't have a good shot. We miss it. The ball goes into the water, the pond, whatever we're focusing on. And he's like, well, you just really have to have positive thinking and think, okay, don't even think about where the ball's going. Think about how you're going to hit that ball and where you want it to land. And it made so much sense and it's so easy. Yet argue with ourselves constantly about how everything's not working. This prevents us. It's the biggest money blocker that we all have. It's not working. I'm not getting clients. I'm not making sales. Well, and as
I've
I'm
said all
listening
that.
to yeah, and as I'm thinking, and as I'm listening to this golf instructor yesterday, and I'm paralleling that to what I hear, my clients say and people online coaching, reading posts and things of that nature. Well, that's why, because that's what you're focusing on, and your mind doesn't know what you're saying. It just knows that you're saying something and it's going to take action. So if you say, I'm not receiving clients, I'm not making any money, guess what? You're not. You're not going to make any money. So how can someone use Reiki to help them as far as like with their finances, with their even in their relationships to help them calm down? So like, is it a simple, like you literally just speak over them and I know everything is energy. So bringing that energy centered focus with your thoughts onto that person, onto the collective, like what's the best method? So if somebody, and I know we have a lot of listeners out there, a lot of single moms who, with teenagers or even empty nesters who are just pulling their hair out because they want to provide and they feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck, that they just don't have enough money. They can barely pay their bills, even though they have a lot of money coming in. It's just going out faster than they can make it. It's gone, poof, vanished in thin air. So, what is a simple practice that they can do that you could possibly help them with?
Well, I can do distant Reiki, so I can
Mm-hmm.
do Reiki for you. You're in your country, I'm in my country, because it's my intention. And once my intention flows for your highest good, then your body will feel peace. And it's about being able to manage the relationships with whatever is outside. So
Mm-hmm.
if the new mom that has just got divorced or is single and totally at her wit's end because of external, it's to bring peace into their body so that they're able to manage a choice or able to manage a decision
Mm-hmm.
instead of being totally overwhelmed. because they still have to do something about their situation. And that's where Reiki brings peace.
Mm-hmm.
And how I do it, I either do it in person or I do group. I have an online, I call it online virtual peace, and people log in. And again, I don't need a computer, but it's nice to have the music on. So I ask everybody to turn off their cameras and be comfortable. Possibly if it's late in the evening, that's when they'd be going to bed. Some people just fall asleep anyway. But that's I send Andrea has videos, and I
Mm-hmm.
send videos to everyone because Reiki has no time or distance. So if Andrea did a video 3 years ago and you play it now, the Reiki is coming to you now. So she's available on YouTube all the time.
Mm.
So if ladies, that need that, as well, it's fabulous because I've given those videos to so many people and it has helped so many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a beautiful way to be able to calm our minds and our souls. I think of the biggest nervous system and just all the nervous energy we have because we get so overwhelmed and we keep telling ourselves, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overwhelmed. I can't look at those numbers. I can't do this. I can't. And it's like, just change the language pattern. And yes, it's that simple. If you want to bring in money, if you want to live, if you want to find true wealth, the key is to calm yourself. And using these beautiful tools, I mean, I use aromatherapy, and that's the energy. Like, you can use the energy of the oil, just the power of the breath that immediately calms down. So when you think about that soothing language, that comfort that connects with our super subconscious and just says, okay, we are fine. And I know, like, even myself, when I go through, different seasons in my life, different days trigger different memories. In the back of my mind, just this year, I started understanding energetics. I don't have that scientific mind. And I decided that I was going to just dive in and absorb myself so that I can understand it. Every day it gets clearer, the picture gets clearer. But the idea of we receive this information and it calms us, and then we can get clarity and then make decisions to go forward to help us meet our goals, to bring in, the money, to have the good relationships, to lose the weight, whatever it is. So what would you say to someone who is going through the ups and downs? Like, pre-show, we talked about sad and the sunshine not being out with it being fall, and we're going into winter season. I hear a lot of coaches talk about gratitude, and this is non-negotiable in my wealth accelerator. But there's days where you just need to cry. You need to be sad. You need to process. And I almost feel like sometimes there's this underlining message is, oh no, just be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Reminds me of that song. So what would you say to somebody that's like really challenged by the things that are going on in their lives? What would you say to them, and how could Reiki help them in that situation?
Well, the first thing I would say is always, no matter what's happening, put your hand on your heart and say, I am okay, I am enough. Because when compassion comes from within, if you haven't got me to hand, or you haven't an appointment with me, or you can't, always use your own body to bring compassion for yourself. As you said, the oils are fantastic, but your breath, you always have your breath
Mm-hmm.
to balance the central nervous system. Reiki, I know I do it for my husband, and he says, it, yeah, I'm totally relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, little kids used to put their hands on their arms if they cut themselves. So children were able to self-heal. To believe you're enough. I'm not sure if that's related to Reiki, but when so much is happening, it's okay to cry, because you have to cry and let that out. You have to be able to cry. The definition of mindfulness is the awareness that arises from paying attention on purpose in this moment without judgment. It's the without
Mm-hmm.
judgment bit that is actually helpful, because no matter what's happening, no matter what you've done, if you can sit with the feeling without adding any more to it, it'll pass. But like you say, if you focus on it, it'll get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And if you add firewood to a fire at night at 12 o'clock, it's going to keep roaring. The fire will keep roaring. But if you want to go to bed, it's not going to die down if you keep putting firewood. So our thoughts, before even you get to Reiki, if you're able to just be with your thoughts and recognize that they're thoughts, that they've nothing to do with facts, that in itself would help.
Mm-hmm.
Reiki just brings ideas, because if you think you have your thought pattern here, you have your voice here, you have your heart, then you have your center, then you have your creativity and your reproductive organs, and then you have your root. So if you
Mhm.
have an idea, but you just don't seem to be getting anywhere with it, your sacral chakra could be blocked. Or if you're not getting on with someone, you mightn't be saying what you need to say. So your throat chakra could be blocked. You could be feeling heavy in your heart. I had a lovely, lovely lady, and her son had just been diagnosed with symptoms, hard symptoms. And I did distant Reiki for her, and I was here in my house. And I effectively, without having her heart, I massaged her heart and I filled it back with love.
Mm.
She told me that her heart, I said, was your heart broken? And she said, I haven't said that to anyone. But that's how she felt. And she felt that I took her heart out and gave it love and put it back in. So that's how Reiki, because of the 7 chakras, one could be blocked. And it's
Mhm.
like a river with S bends. You know, if the river is going, but silt starts to build up. So then the river is eventually only going like this. But if the silt still comes, the water can't get through. And that's what
Mm.
the lady said today. She said she felt so light. But when everything is spinning, you know, the pyramid of you have enlightenment at the top and guilt and depression and fear.
Mhm.
That's number 20 on the bottom. So that's the
Mhm.
vibration. And enlightenment is 700. That's totally, totally floating. Enlightenment is the ultimate. And you just move up. You know, I would have felt a lot of shame and guilt, a lot of shame and guilt. And I'm now only feeling love, the actual feeling of love. Like I'm married. There's my beautiful family behind me. I'm married. I have a lovely mammy. My father's in heaven. I have brothers, sisters, but I'm now only feeling love. My hands go warm when I talk about love. My heart goes warm because I have moved or elevated out of the shame and the guilt, which is
Mm.
just fabulous for me and my family.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I say that mindfulness changed our house into a home, and
Mhm.
Reiki brought us all peace.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now you talk a lot about gratitude as well. So what can you share with the audience about how gratitude has helped you to get closer to your goals and it's changed the way that you, I guess, changed your point of view of the world?
I learned. I think I always appreciated maybe big stuff, but now I have taught myself because of the mindfulness and being grateful for everything. I'm grateful for cold water in my tap. And if I
Mm.
do spaghetti bolognese, I'm grateful for hot water. That all I have to do is turn on a switch. And that's how grateful I am. And last Sunday, this weather in Ireland, it's dull. That's how I would describe it. From about August, I can notice in my body the changes in me. And last Sunday, I was crying. I cried a lot last weekend, and I knew I needed to do something. So I was just getting dinner ready, and I had a carrot and I had a peeler. And after about an hour, I had so many things to be grateful for. I had the hob to cook the carrot. I had the water to put the carrot into. I had a beautiful floor to stand on in my bare feet. I had a family to cook. And for a full hour, I brought all I could around the carrot and the peeler. And it lifted my mood.
Mm.
It lifted my mood. I'm grateful when I go. At the moment in Ireland, it's all autumn colours, and I just love autumn colours. And I just love the trees. I love the carpet. I love the covers I have on my couch. I'm so grateful my son got his course in Dublin. My daughter is happy doing her leaving cert. She'll be going to college next year. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the picture over my bedroom. I'm grateful that my ceiling is pink because it makes my bedroom warm. So I get up grateful and I go to bed grateful.
Mm.
And what you focus on grows.
Mhm.
The more I focus on that, the more I have to be grateful for. And I learned it though. I had to learn it. And
Mhm.
7 years ago, if you told me to be grateful, I might have been rude. Whereas,
Totally get that.
yeah, I'm, and even as I did this, having this chat with you today, I'm so grateful to get to where I am now, considering I qualified as an accountant. But because I don't feel my brain was designed for accountancy,
Mhm.
but I qualified. So I think I'm wonderful. It's It was meant to be for mindfulness. It was meant to be for Reiki. Like, this is the first time I've ever done something that I read, I'm listening, podcasts, constantly absorbing, because I just love what I do. I love
And
what I
that's when
do.
you know it's in alignment. When you absolutely love what you're doing,
Yeah.
even the days that you wanna quit and just say, "You know what? I'm just done." Even then, you're just really
Yeah.
it's not the truth because you know this is your mission and, this is God's, source, universe, whatever you, practice, this is
Yeah.
what you are meant to do, this is what you
Yeah.
are wired to do. Somewhere along the line, someone told us otherwise, and we believed we fell into that lie, that trap, and
Yeah.
it's so important to come back to center to go within and to look at it from the inside out and say, "You know what? It doesn't matter. The external validation, it doesn't matter." And getting to that point, and I know it's really challenging for me because we want the gold stars. We think that, numbers and likes and conversation, all the things, that's what we need to get that dopamine hit. And it's like, no, it's just knowing that you're connected with God and you're able to say, okay, this is the path, this is the mission, and I'm so calm and I feel so beautiful. And I know on my online journey, I've switched niches, was not satisfied, and I was so frustrated in what I was doing and I couldn't figure it out. And it was
Mm.
just like, and there was coaches were telling me, no, you got to do this, you got to do this. And it was not in alignment. And I struggled with that.
Mm.
So I love how I think I've had maybe 2 Reiki sessions online, maybe one. I know I definitely had one. I may have had a second one that I don't remember. I'm getting this little foggy as whether or not I had one or
Yeah.
two. But anyways, I know I had one. And I just remember, like you said, being at peace and calm. And I had, a few days later, I got this download. It's like, no, you're not supposed to be doing this. It's like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? And I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing it, but my body was screaming out. And I was so, like you said, you know, walking around with your shoulders raised, your body's clenched, you get the jaw ache, the headaches, and then you keep trying to do it because your coach is telling you to. And it's like, this is not in alignment. I don't know what it is, but it's not right. And I need to come back. And I love how Reiki can help you do that. I see a lot of different people looking for their purpose, looking for direction, looking for simple step by step. And, a lot of the listeners know I love human design because it helps you
Mhm.
put this in perspective. In
Mm.
combining that, like when you know your human design, you know your money archetype, you can look and go into a Reiki session and say, okay, I need the clear path. I have a blocked chakra. Something's not right. I know it's out of alignment, but I need help because we can't figure that out on our own. We know it's there, but it's so we don't ask ourselves the tough questions to get down to that root cause so that we can open up and move forward in our mission and our purpose and do what we are meant to do. So I love that you stepped into this. So tell us, what's the best way for our audience to connect with you, to book a Reiki session, to get into your worlds?
I'm on Instagram, sensing_moments, and I'm on Facebook, which is Sensing Moments Mindfulness, and my email is info@sensingmoments.ie. Yeah.
Awesome. And just tell us a little bit, like, do you do one-to-one or group coaching? How does it work?
Yeah, I'm doing, I have a group program at the moment with two lovely ladies, and that's online. I'm organising an in-person, which is in a town just over from me, and that's going to be a Sunday morning. And I had my virtual online piece, which was on a Monday evening, and I'll get back to that as well. So it's wonderful how many ways I can help people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I had a lady, and she just rang me last week, and she just said the Reiki has helped her in so many ways in her dealing with herself, dealing with her family issues. And
Mm-hmm.
it hasn't changed the stuff coming in the door, but it changes how she relates and how she manages it. And she still laughs and still has fun, which is, we have to live. Even if life happens, as life keeps lifing, we have the choice of either just, dying with it or leaving it aside and having our own lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Beautiful.
do also am open to engaging with people, because what I might be suggesting may not be right for the person. But I have learned, because I've stepped out, I was very rigid and dogmatic, and now I'm flexible. So if plan A doesn't work, I say there's 26 letters in the alphabet, and we'll find one that does work. And that's where I'm very comfortable now in what I do, that I'm able to say, you know, Lisa, I like the way you've come to me with that, but how about we do it this way?
Mm-hmm.
Because you mightn't be aware of what I can do,
Right.
and it could accelerate or it could enhance your experience and your journey. And
Mhm.
it, for me, my ultimate is to see people live their best lives and to love themselves. Because once you love yourself, it doesn't matter what anyone else says or does, because you know that if you're in a group and they're not aligned with you, you just remove yourself. You don't ask any of them to change. You just remove yourself. And then that allows you to go find the people that are aligned for you,
Mm-hmm.
places to go, and some of them were okay, some of them weren't right. And now I am now a square peg fitting in a square hole. I was a peg trying to fit into a round hole, and now I know me. And now I have a vision board. I never knew what a vision board was, or I didn't know how to do it because I didn't know what I wanted or who I was. And now I have a full vision board, which is fabulous.
Yeah, getting that visual. Anytime you get all of your senses involved in what your goals are and create that plan, everything just overflows. It
Yeah.
falls into perfect
Yes.
place. Well, thank you so much for being
Yeah.
here, for sharing your story. For those of
Yeah.
you listening, if you're looking to balance your mind and body, if you have been someone who has been on a roller coaster ride emotionally and you're questioning everything you're doing, especially in your business, imposter syndrome set in, connect with Eilish, get the Reiki done, and just, try it out for one session and say to yourself, how can I invest in myself to bring overflow, to have the confidence in my finances, in my business, in my relationship, whatever it is, because you deserve it. You are your best investment. And remember, it doesn't matter how much money you have, it's what you do with it. Hey, mompreneurs, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, please follow the show and share it with a friend who's rebuilding her finances after divorce. No spreadsheets, no restrictive budgets, only confidence to build financial freedom. Also, please drop a quick 5-star review so more moms starting over can find this. It lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. Inhale confidence, exhale scarcity. I'll meet you back on Tuesday for another episode. It doesn't matter how much money you have, it's what you do with it.